Okay, so this is one of these hard to I know my nails. I can't get these other ones off. Anyway, this is one of these messages where it's going to be kind of hard to explain, but it makes sense if you can keep up. I tried my best to write it down where it makes sense, but like I always say in all of these deeper videos, it's sometimes difficult for me to translate it into words from the feeling and like from it just being like basically like beamed to me in an instant. So anyway, this message was inspired by a question. I saw a video with the title is our universe in a black hole? And I started to think about it and I was like, damn, how would that be possible? And then Spirit began talking to me about how our universe is in a black hole and what that actually means. So let me get into this and make it as understandable as possible. So I got this download on May 3rd, 2026, but for context, today is May 11th, 2026. Okay, so I've been sitting on this download for a minute. So I've been a little hesitant about how I was going to relay this message, okay? But at 4:04 a.m. is when I received this message. Now, the interesting thing about this is 4:04 is 4, okay? So 4 plus 4 is 8, and 8 is the number of karma and also known as the karmic equalizer, okay? Keep that in mind because that is significant. Let me see. Why am I being told to go to this page? Let me make sure. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I left a note for myself. And I'm like, I don't know which notebook I'm... Anyway, there is a note on this page, but I'll get to it in a second. I'll figure out what that is in a second. Okay. So, number 8. Karma and the karmic equalizer, okay? So, is our universe inside of a black hole? And then I asked the question, okay, so if the universe, our universe, is inside of a black hole, wouldn't that make the earth the hell realm? Because inside of a black hole, there's no light. It's void of light. So anywhere that is void of light is void of God, because God is light. So therefore, if the black hole is void of light and no light can even escape it, does that mean that we're inside the hell realm? I know, just think about it for a second, because it makes an insane amount of sense. So let me go ahead and break down what me and Spirit were talking about. So black hole equals void of light. Void of light equals hell. Hell equals prison. So a black hole is considered to be void of light because its gravity is so intense that light cannot escape from within its boundaries, known as the event horizon. Okay? So the event horizon is basically the point of no return. The point of entering the black hole where you cannot turn back. It's impossible at that point because the gravitational pull is too strong. So it's almost like a waterfall's edge. When something gets to a waterfall's edge, it's pulled down by gravity, by the waterfall's flow, and it cannot be stopped. Same energy. So the event horizon is not a physical surface. It's not a physical edge. It's literally just a boundary in space, like I said, like a waterfall's edge, okay? So, a black hole, again, does not emit light or reflect it, although it's literally surrounded by light and luminary stars and objects that give their own light that are falling into it, okay? So, some scientists believe that our universe could be part of a higher dimension black hole. So they believe it's possible that our universe is inside of a black hole, and that universe is a black hole. It just keeps going, okay? So it's possible that they believe that we are inside of a black hole in a higher dimensional black hole, okay? So the universe the universe's expansion, what the scientists have seen is that the rate and the way the universe expands is its characteristics match the characteristics of a black hole's interior, the way a black hole's interior expands and moves, etc. Okay, so it's very similar to what happens inside of a black hole. So that also raises speculation that we could be inside of a black hole. Now, the James Webb Telescope actually showed rotation patterns in early galaxies that also correlate with rotation patterns and such of being in a black hole or being drawn into a black hole, etc. So those things also further I can't think of the word I want to use. Confirm, that's not the word I wanted to use. They further confirm the speculation that we are in a black hole. Now, this is what Spirit was telling me. This is why the Matrix, the Earth realm, is so hard to escape. So, as above, so below, right? So, the same way that it's impossible for light to escape a black hole is the same way that it is almost, basically, damn near impossible to escape the Earth realm, the hell realm, because if light is the fastest thing in our universe, and light cannot escape out of a black hole, then nothing can escape out of a black hole. It's made that way on purpose because it's a prison, okay? So, hold on. So, in the Bible, Isaiah 24, 21 through 22 mentions God gathering the hosts of heaven and the kings of earth to be locked up together in a dungeon, in a prison. The hosts of heaven, earth angels, and the kings of the earth, men, Nephilim, people, okay? Locked up together in a dungeon, prison. Also, in 2 Peter 2:4, it also mentions God casting fallen angels in Tartarus, which is translated as hell or a prison of chains, to await judgment. Okay, that's talking about earth. And then also in Hebrews 13:14, it suggests that believers have no lasting city or permanent home on earth, framing earth as a temporary residence rather than a final destination. Okay, so these are all scriptures in the Bible that basically tell us right there that earth is some kind of something, a prison, a dungeon, something, okay? So, what I came to the conclusion of talking to Spirit, and what Spirit basically told me is this: earth is a prison / reform school. Earth is a prison / reform school. There are some who will never get out of prison. And there are some who have to be reformed before they're able to get paroled. Okay? So, earth is a prison, reform school for fallen angels and souls who refuse to learn and be one with divine God. Basically, the fallen angels. Okay? So, earth angels volunteered to come down and teach these fallen angels and souls how to get out of prison and how to be one with divine God again. So basically, earth angels are like corrections officers down here to try to help get the fallen angels and the lost souls to get their shit together so they can be part of divine God and get out of jail free card. Okay? Okay? Basically, that's literally what it is. Okay, so if they choose not to go ahead and reform and be one with divine God again, come back to the God within, all that shit, if they choose not to, they basically return over and over again until they learn the lessons or serve their sentence with good behavior, and then finally become one with Spirit, with God, with universe, divine God again. Okay, so the separation of night and day and dark and light in Genesis is talking about Earth being inside of a black hole where light is void. God doesn't exist in the Earth realm. Okay? Listen, I'm dead serious. If Earth is the hell realm, if Earth is like a prison, reform school, and we're inside of a black hole and there's no light inside of a black hole, that means there's no God inside the Earth realm. There's no God in hell. Okay? So God does not exist in the Earth realm, only within the Earth angels on the Earth plane, because God is not in hell. Only darkness is. So the only way God exists in the Earth realm, in the hell realm, is inside of the Earth angels that are here on the Earth. And that's why it's the Earth angels' job and light workers' job to spread their light and their love, their God within, to those around them, because it's our job to do that, to reform these lost souls and fallen angels, so that they can basically absorb that light and be light themselves and come back into oneness with divine God. Okay, so basically, Earth is a prison, a reform school for the fallen angels, and the Earth angels are literally here to spread the light of God, to help the fallen angels come back to divine God, because divine God doesn't dwell in this realm, because this realm is prison. It's hell. So God is not here, only in the Earth angels and within you. So in order to get out of this prison, out of this realm, you literally have to find the God within, because God is not in this realm. God only dwells within us in this realm. And once we allow God to dwell within us and we acknowledge God within us and become one again with God within us and around us and in everything, then we get out of prison. We get out of hell. We don't have to come back here. All that type shit, okay? But that's literally all I have for this message. So I bid you adieu. I will be back whenever God gives me another one of these deep-ass messages to share with you. So in the meantime and in between time, I love you. Thank you so much, as always, for being a member and for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Toodles!